You see the camera panning over the streets of Villestown until it eventually settles on the outside of a pawn shop. There is a man standing in front of the shop, as though he is contemplating whether or not he should go inside. In his hand is a silver pocket watch, one that is in good condition but isn't ticking at the moment. It hasn't ticked in well over a year now. Not because it's broken, mind you, but simply because the man hasn't bothered to wind it. He hasn't had much use for it since that fateful night. What good is counting the seconds, hours, and minutes of each day when you no longer have a schedule to follow? Even the watch's hands are still pointing up towards the hour of midnight, as though both it and himself have been frozen in time ever since that moment when... Well, it's useless to muse about such things now, and it's not as if he'd remained truly unchanged since that night. If anything, he's undergone some rather significant changes. One of which being that he now had a need for gold to afford food and shelter until he could find work, which meant that he had to sell something, and since this watch was little more than a useless trinket to him now, it just made logical sense to pawn it off. Granted, it wasn't the only item of value he had on his person, but even now, as ridiculous as it is, he knows he can't part with a ring hanging from a thin chain around his neck, hidden under his shirt, and he doubts he ever will. Just as he's finally made up his mind, though, a strong wind blows down the street, and with it comes a piece of paper fluttering through the air. The paper catches on the side of his arm, so he pulls it off with the intent to toss it into the nearest garbage bin. But he just so happens to catch a glimpse of what's written on the paper before he can crumple it up. It's an advertisement for a job opening somewhere not too far from here. Isn't this quite the coincidence? Or perhaps there is some truth to the beliefs the people of this land seem to hold. A small smile graces his lips, showing off the sharp fangs hidden underneath. Well then, if this is indeed a fate, or some manner of a plot thread, and who am I to ignore it? Hello everyone, I am Cartoon Kitsune, and welcome one and all to the game Her Butler Interviewing. But of course, this wouldn't be a game without our lovely players. Would everyone please introduce themselves from top to bottom and tell us what character you're playing as today?
Hi, hello. I am ever so clever being at the top here. Haha. I am Noodle or pasta or udon or whichever variation thereof y'all are feeling like today. And I am bringing a horrible, terrible bird boy, one Jubilee Yukon, who definitely knows what qualifies as a butler and what a good butler would be.
Of course he
He's
does.
he's not here to, you know, there's ideas for stealing. No, he's
Of
being
course not.
polite. He's being polite.
Well, luckily, there's somebody there to babysit him, I guess. Hello, I'm Spec or Spectral Haunts, and I will be playing one Private Eye Grim Tome, aka the father of one Jubilee Yukon, who will be making sure there is no thievery happening today.
And hi, it's me at the bottom of the list. My name is Arson Sessions, also known as Obby, and today I'm playing Reed Ledger. He's here to help out. That's it.
He's just a guy.
Valid of
Just
him,
a
honestly.
dude, man.
That's a guy, just vibing, man.
The most
But
outlandish.
yes.
Someone need help, and he was like, I have a weekend to spare.
Yeah. Exactly. And speaking of which, the three of you are all here today because you have been requested by one Aurelia Hoffla. She has recently acquired a rather impressive manor that is out on the outskirts of Villestown. But of course, a large manor like that needs a few servants to, keep the place neat and tidy, cook the food, all that good stuff. And that starts out with, having a head of staff, aka a butler. She's gonna need to hire. Problem is, she doesn't really have much experience with, hiring staff or running interviews or anything like that. So she reached out to a few of her friends, who, in turn, reached out to a few of their friends, and that is how she gathered up this motley crew here today. So yeah, so you guys are, so I assume the three of you probably arrive at around generally the same time. And you arrive at this pretty impressive mansion. It's not like the biggest like mansion ever. It's only 2 floors, but it's got like a couple of wings. It's pretty decently sized. It's very pretty, not too ostentatious. It's got kind of this like blue gray sort of color scheme to it. There's a very nice kind of like lawn outside with like little trees and stuff. It is the architecture is interesting because it's very much kind of reminiscent of like kind of more real kind of architecture, but of course being in Inkwell, the like visually it's more kind of a painted style. What I wanted to go for was kind of like a watercolor sort of look, like like in old Disney movies, like in Cinderella when they have like the big sweeping shots of like the
Yes.
palace and stuff. That's what I
You
really want to go for. Yeah.
you get
Nice.
it. You
You
get
just
it.
Yeah.
you get it.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
understand.
Kind of like the combination of like realism, but also like the colors, that sort of vibe. Yeah. So, how's
Okay.
everyone feeling as they arrive at this big manor?
Don't worry
Alrighty,
about that plus 13. Don't worry about it. Don't worry
it's
about it.
fine.
What is that
Fear.
plus 13?
What do you think it is, Spec?
It's either a deception or a sleight of hand, knowing him.
Well, I'll tell you his sleight of hand is not plus 13.
So it's a deception, of course it is.
um well, as they're walking up, I will say Jubilee is, for one, he's not flying, he is walking. And seems to he's got his hands in his pockets, seems laid back, is keeping an eye on the manor, definitely does a low whistle of being impressed by the size of it. Uh, he is also keeping out of arm's reach of Tome. Yeah, that's a 25. Hi, Tome.
You get a little narrowed eyes.
You know your son. He's sizing this place up.
Mhm.
You can see the gears turning. If I wanted to, I
You
could
get
probably get in through that window and then yeah.
you get with the mage hand a very gentle flick on the back of your head and a very narrowed eye that makes it very clear that it's a no.
What? I wasn't doing anything. I'm looking. I'm allowed to look at the house. Am I not allowed to look at the house?
You're allowed
I mean,
to
we're
look
supposed to go
at
inside.
the house. There's a
Mhm.
difference between looking at the house and sizing it up, Jubilee.
I would never.
Do not lie to
Never.
me.
I
Nope.
I am a reformed man.
No, you are.
I would never. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Okay. I'm glad we've gotten the lies out of the system for now.
For now.
Just try and behave slightly.
I have manners.
You do?
Yes.
And you never told me.
Well, you're being a bit of a prick, so I haven't seen a reason to use them around you.
Well, maybe I'm being a prick because you never use your manners.
Bit of a standoff we have here.
It appears so. Fair warning, kid. Jubilee and Tome will bicker. This is your legal warning.
No, it's fine. I love this. But yeah, just to keep things moving along, you guys arrive and yeah, I assume you knock at the door, and it is opened by none other than Aurelia herself, who appears to be accompanied by a little kitty cat, little tortoiseshell cat. Yeah, 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 and yeah, those of you who are in the AI chat might know that this kitty is most likely Angelique, her patron, apparently, despite the fact that she kind of small for a patron. It seems a bit more like a familiar, but she claims to be your patron, so. And Aurelia will say, "Oh, everyone, you're here. Come in, please. Thank you, everyone, for being here."
Oh, absolutely. You did ask for help. Oh, allow me a moment. The other two can handle things. Let's see. And he's stepping off to the side and rummaging around in his hammer space. Yep.
All right, that'll do it.
Yeah, and he is able to pull out several boxes of pastries, all marked with a bakery logo of the baker's heart. And you can definitely smell the fresh baked pastries.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, her
I can
face
promise
lights up.
delivery.
Oh, thank you so much. She'll take the box. I'll find somewhere to set these down. Definitely have to try a few of these later. Thank you so much, Mr. Jubilee.
Oh, you don't need to worry about the mister. Just Jubilee is fine.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Jubilee.
Mm.
And I think she'll like look over at Tome. You're Mr. Tome, or sorry, Detective Tome. Yes, you're Leo's father, aren't you?
Yes. Tome works or whatever you wish to call. Don't stress over formalities. He's
Old
going to.
man work.
Jubilee, have I ever told you how much you liven my daily experience?
No, but I do so enjoy being told.
Ah, well, I'm so glad. And he takes off his hat and shoes and leaves them at the door.
Yeah. I will say, as you guys are heading in, I think Aurelia kind of like gives like kind of a curious glance at sort of the back and forth between you guys, almost confused in a way. But it doesn't last very long. Meanwhile, the kitty cat by her feet kind of like is kind of like narrowing her eyes at Tome a little bit.
Um,
Yeah.
is what did I do wrong to offend the patron?
I think Aurelia kind of like glances down at her at Angelique and is like she kind of like mutters like, "Is something wrong?" And they both go kind of quiet for a moment, just kind of like staring at each other. You might know this as like them speaking telepathically, like judging by the way they're staring at each other, which would make
Mm-hmm.
sense if they have like that sort of connection.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
he he knows those
Yeah,
vibes. He's got a little sweat
and
drop.
yeah, and I think eventually Aurelia will say, "Oh, don't worry, it's nothing. I think it's more of a misunderstanding than anything. Let's not worry about that right now, though."
Oh, okay. There's a second sweat drop.
Mm.
Reed, who has just like kind of been hanging out in the back of the group, has just been like quietly watching this while like just holding onto his staff at his side.
Mhm.
Reed voice. Oh, there's the cranky old man.
Aw.
There it is.
Yeah. And you must be Reed then. You're Leo's coworker. So I think I've seen you a few times over at the Painted Lady. Reed, you'd probably know that. There's sort of like a week-long period where Aurelia was kind of between living situations where she'd been staying at an inn, but she would come to the
Mhm.
Painted Lady every so often. You'd usually see her and Angelique hanging out at one of the booths, looking over a whole bunch of like real estate paperwork and listings and stuff, as they were trying to find the house.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
She definitely would have gotten uh a few little snacks here and there from Reed.
Aw.
Aww.
Sent from the back.
All
Listen,
right.
paperwork is long and you need food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep up
Yeah.
morale.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a lot. But yeah, so now that everyone's been introduced, so yeah, she'll invite you all in, and yeah, the foyer in here is pretty impressive. It's pretty sparsely decorated. There's not a whole lot of stuff in here yet, since she is just moving in now. So but it's still got like the big grand staircase that goes up, like you usually see in like mansions like this. She'll
Mhm.
lead you guys to like sort of a room off to the side, which is kind of like a little sitting room where she's got like a table and like four chairs set up for you guys to sit at, and then kind of like a chair opposite that for presumably the interviewees to sit at.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay, so again, thank you all for coming here to help me with this. I really appreciate it. I don't know if any of you guys have run an interview before. I certainly haven't. I did write up a few questions for us to ask the people there, the people that come in. They'll be coming in a little bit later, and I think she'll hand out like pages. I did give you guys a link to like a kind of a list of questions for us to go off of. We don't have to ask every single one, of course. Just more a little bit of a reference for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
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 But yeah, I'd say you guys have like a
Readers-
little bit of time. Oh yeah.
I was gonna say Reed's kind of like hang out in the back of the group because he's kind of like the kind of person who like steps back and observes the situation first and foremost before properly engaging.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
So he's just kind of like hanging in the back, and he occasionally pauses and like with the top of his staff, he like kind of like knocks against one of the walls of the manor.
Yeah.
He's already had
Yep,
to
but-
deal with ghosts once. He's a little nervous about this place.
It doesn't appear to be haunted, from what you can tell. But it is the middle of the day, so
Can't get the true spooky vibes just yet.
Nah.
fair enough. But it is a big manor like this, so.
Exactly.
All right, so just to keep things moving along, I'm gonna say that you guys have a little bit of time before the interviewees come in to kind of look over the list of questions, chat with each other, and maybe share a few of the pastries Juby brought, that sort of thing. But eventually, people do start coming in, and we got quite a few people coming in for this thing. And they're all directed to kind of like wait in the foyer as they're called up. And so, for the audience, the way this game is going to work is that each of us have devised an interviewee who will be showing up for this thing, and we're going to be taking turns on like who's being interviewed and whatnot. For our first interviewee, though, I have a little special something that I've brought with me. I would like to invite our special guest into the call.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I'm so excited to be interviewing for a job. Hello. Hi.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so yeah, you guys call in the. So yeah, you guys call in the first interviewee, and presumably you see a small horde of little ravens in detective outfits come scrambling into the room. Out of curiosity, how many of these birds are here today?
Only 6 today.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Don't let the chirping fool you.
That's one of them in the background.
That's one of them.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
One of them. If there's a door out there, one of them's starting to get into a screaming match with all the birds outside, I guess.
I think there's like
my
this
God.
room, the sitting room you're in. There's like a few big windows along one wall, so yeah, there's probably like a bird on a tree outside.
Yeah, so you got 6 come in. One of them immediately defects to the window and is busy. The other 5 all try to take a seat in the single seat provided. With we do the best.
Okay. If you move your leg here. Okay. Oh, but what if I sit on top? No, I want to sit on top. Okay. You sit on top. I sit on bottom, and then okay. We should have brought the big coat. Yes, we should have brought big coat and then pretend to be one bird. But then that would be disingenuous. Where'd you learn that word? I don't know.
I think Aurelia eventually kind of interjects, like, well, thank you for coming. We weren't really planning on this being a group interview.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. We all are. We have one resume. Yes. Touche.
Okay, could we see it, please?
Oh, yes. Get resume. Okay. I thought you had resume. No, you had resume. Oh,
Reginald! And the one over one over at the window stops screaming for a second.
yes. You have resume. Oh, yes.
He trots on over, pulls out an actually quite impressive resume. You start to look it over, and you got stuff like has them listed as working as those toy train engineer or conductors at the mall. Has them listed as that. Has it listed 12 times actually. Listed as stagehand 12 times. This one's really interesting, and it starts to you see this one and you're like, I'm not sure if these guys are real. It mentions the 2 deities that control the weather in Villestown. And you're like, not quite sure if that's legit. But a quite impressive resume. There's actually one thing where it says one graduated from Bird Law School. Quite impressive.
That does all sound very impressive. She's not entirely sure how relevant that is to the current job position, but it's
As you can see, we are quite qualified to take on all manner of jobs. So many jobs. We want more jobs, actually. Yes, that is why we are here. Yes, need more jobs. More jobs.
Reed, like, kind of standing behind. Oh gosh, what's her name? Aurelia?
Aurelia.
Aurelia.
Yeah.
Thank you. Standing behind Aurelia is just kind of like glancing over her much shorter shoulder. And like getting
is
a
very
look
small.
through the resume, which is if there's 12 of the same job listed for most of them, there's got to be a lot of pieces of paper.
It's like one that they kind of like had spooled, and then like in the margins you can see kind of like bird scratchings. Like you don't. I mean, I don't think any of you know Primordial, but it's definitely written in birdish. Probably some like
Right,
notes,
yeah.
like
Probably RN, Avian. I think RN's the official one for
Yes.
D&D. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, I have to mention, like it's mostly written in crayon.
Oh my
Of course.
gosh.
Like occasionally you'll see like different writing instruments used when there's like a different thing, but usually like if it's mentioned 12 times, it's the same instrument.
There's one written in fancy ink, and that's from the one that went to law school.
Nice.
Reginald had that one added personally by a bird instructor at Bird Law School. Yes. I wrote that one when I almost won mayor. Was very close race. Was very close race. Was unsure to add, but so close, had to add. Yes.
I think the entire time Juby, like when he sat down, it was absolutely just the most lazy sprawl across one of these fancy chairs.
Yeah.
Who is just relaxed, but when the Reginalds walked in, he did sit up because he has heard of the Reginalds. And he's just watching all of them with like prayer hands, like, where is it? Where's the emote that I want? There it is, right there. That exact expression as he just watches all of these birds has
prayer
probably
hands, these birds.
yeah, like his ear feathers are probably flicked listening to the screaming match over by the window. He's probably learned some words he didn't even know before. Wow.
No. You listen in on it. You hear the bird speaking, and then you just hear ah. No further, like no further like words. Just
yeah, just yelling.
Just the occasional ah.
Right. Well, getting a bit back on topic. So for our interviewers, do you guys want to ask a question? I don't know if we have like a specific order or just like whoever wants to go first.
So ready for questions. So excited for questions. Yes. I love question. I ask question. No. They ask question, we answer.
All right. I have a question.
Yes.
So you're all going to be working the same job?
I mean, like maybe? Wasn't that job? I don't know. I mean, like we do shifts with the professors. I mean, yes, but only one of us could be mayor. We know you did not win mayor, but I almost won mayor.
Aurelia pipes up. Well, I will note the position is for the chief of staff, so technically it can only be one of you. So after we do fill this position, we are going to be looking for other servants for the manor. So even if this doesn't work out, we'll probably keep your resume on file and maybe hire you for one of the servant positions.
Okay, time out real quick, please. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, group circle. Okay.
So they kind of shuffle off to a corner.
Okay, one of us get this job, yes, and then others, yes, others get other job, yes, and then and then what? Oh, yes, and then we switch every day. We get to be big boss. Okay, I like this job. Okay, yes, good idea, good. Okay,
Hmm.
okay, time back
Important
to
question. Do we ever hear this?
They're not known for being quiet.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I mean, by their standards, are they whispering in a corner? Yes. By normal people's standards,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna cry.
Fair enough.
Mhm.
but they all shuffle back. They all shuffle back.
yes, except yes, we can have one of us will be big boss. Yes, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, based on your plan, I don't exactly know law, but that does sound not exactly legal to just, swap around who gets the job based on the day. I don't think you can do that.
You don't know if legal though.
No, but someone here might. He looks over at Tome.
Okay, I have to see if Tome would know. I'm sorry. Tome doesn't know who any of these people are. I rolled a history, and Tome doesn't know who the Reginalds are.
I'm not
So
even gonna
he's
bother roll history. Reed doesn't know.
So
jack.
he just has the worst impression right now of a bunch of birds came in with no knowledge of the actual job, and once they found out the job, they decided to lie about if they were gonna do this man he isn't even hiding his look of disappointment and minor glare. It is not even hidden. let me roll. I'm sorry. Oh gosh, what would I'll just do a straight intelligence. Do you know of any legal laws which this would violate? Yes, he does.
Mhm.
Yeah, probably. Yes.
And they
Several
fraud for
things
one
is
thing. That's
probably-
definitely
yeah.
counts as fraud.
Fraud.
Mhm.
It
Fraudulence.
So to begin, we do have fraud. And then we have forging legal documents, because at that point you would be lying about who was signing it. And then, of course, you have endangering of the position, which can be considered a form of endangerment, which then has different levels, depending on, since the fact you planned this would at least put into a second degree.
Can we get first degree?
I mean, if you want.
Me, Spec, doing my math, that it would be first degree, yes.
Why not first? Hey.
Mhm.
3 is accident, second is passion, third first is planned. Yes.
Mhm.
But we are passionate. We are very passionate about Tome. That is why we showed up. Yes. What is second passion? I don't understand. We shall have to ask Reginald when we get back. Yes. Reginald would know.
Huh, I wonder if that would be considered
Also,
second.
can see resume real quick, please?
Are you going to put this on your resume?
He's on to us.
Don't give the resume back. Don't. No. Jubilee, for once I'm letting you have your sticky fingers. Don't.
You're really funny.
We would
Look.
like to keep a copy of it, if that's all right.
Oh, we didn't bring a second copy. Oh, well, we can just rewrite it. Yes. Maybe we can ask Turbo for help. Oh, that would be so nice. Family bonding time. Yay! So happy to have you.
I'm like trying to think of things for Reed to say, but this is so outlandishly toonish that he's just being like quietly stunned.
Tome just gently.
Just here, man.
Tome reaches
This is
over.
a normal man.
Tome reaches over to read and gets a small pad and just goes plot device level plot device.
I don't think you lot can have the job, but you should definitely write fraud and all the things that Tome there listed off. You should
No.
definitely write them on your resume when you
I
rewrite
don't-
it. You should. hmm
I don't think that would be recommended.
No, I know things. You should do that. You should really do that. Don't come with
Jubilee.
me.
Okay, good idea. Yes, yes, yes.
Tome is pinching
No,
the bridge
it's
of his
bird
nose.
solidarity. It is bird solidarity here, Tome.
Fellow bird.
I
I'm graying.
only want the
I'm-
best for them.
I'm graying
Couldn't
as we
understand
speak.
bond between fellow birds.
I'm praying as we
Mhm.
speak.
I try
Excellent, we'll
not to
match.
think about the solidarity between birds. Really do try not to.
Mhm,
It is for us birds to understand.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
Mhm.
He's nodding along with Reginald.
Yeah.
Nope. You know what? Nope. I'm not gonna try to understand. You guys win. You guys win.
Yippee! We won!
Yeah.
We won! Let's go home and
Yes.
tell Reginald.
You did not win the job, though.
Oh.
I'm sorry about that. You did not win the job.
Yes, I'm, apologies, but I don't think you're, quite right for this position. But thank you for coming, though.
It's okay. We got first in fun. We still won. Yay!
And with that cheer, they all stampede their way out of the room.
As they're stampeding, Reed will reach into his bag and he immediately pulls out like complimentary snacks he's prepared for the interview.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, you hear
So I'm
hear like them stampeding out, and then you hear like as like one sprints back in, snags it.
Yep. It's like a bag. It's like a little paper bag of those what are they called? Oh, I forgot. Rice balls.
Mm.
And
Oh,
they've
like
got,
onigiri,
the
right?
little, yeah, onigiri. Thank you. And they've got like the little seeds on the outside.
Donut.
Like,
Reginald will give him we'll give him like a kiss, like a bird kiss, and then just run
Mhm.
out.
have I ever told you that I love the Reginald?
We love these birds so much, man.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Launch, for having your birds cameo here. We love them very much.
Yes, of
Crying.
Out now, but
Mhm.
I'm glad to provide the birds.
Mhm.
Team guy.
We
Mhm.
love the birds.
We adore them.
Beautiful.
Fun.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Judy lasts like all of 15 seconds after they leave before he is like halfway off the chair, just giggling up a storm. He's having a wonderful time.
That was
All right.
interesting.
Well, if that is a preview of what's to come, this should certainly be interesting.
This is going to be wonderful.
Well, I guess we should have expected a little bit of chaos. There are probably going to be a lot of tunes coming in for looking into this job.
Let's see.
With that said, I think we can move on to our next interviewee. Which of you would like to bring in your lad first?
Well, considering mine just rolled that number for their thing, I think mine's gonna
Yeah, I
have
think
to wait a little
Yeah,
bit.
we'll get to them later. So yeah, Spec, Noodle, which of you guys want to go first?
Do you want to, Spec? Otherwise, I'll do it.
I'm good either way.
We'll flip a coin.
Flip a
Great.
coin.
Yeah, I was gonna say roll a d2.
You're 1, I'm 2.
Cool. It is you.
Cool.
Alright, Spec, you're up.
Crack
Right.
knuckles.
So who
Alright.
is coming in?
You see walk through the door a extremely nervous figure. They are in a long, like reddish orange coat with brown hair, and they are fiddling with their fingers, and they kind of poke their head around the corner and go, "Is this is the interview for the butler, correct?"
Yes, it is. Please come in. And if you have a resume, you can just set it on the table here.
He nods before he slides over his resume. It is a variety of small jobs that have lasted from about a week to a month at most. And there's saving the
Oh.
entire seasons just there at the bottom.
Oh my god.
And there's what just
Interesting.
right at the bottom?
Saving all the seasons.
Hmm. Hi,
Interesting.
Windy. Hi, Windy.
Hi, Noodle.
Jubilee just like squints at this nervous lad. Like,
I feel like Reed has taken the position of like opening the door, waving the next person in.
mhm,
That
Opening
makes
the door.
sense. Mhm.
Yeah.
saving the entire seasons. All of them.
Yes, it happened over a year. It was 4 different adventures. I do have references if you would like.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mhm. Okay, well, I guess let's start with the questions then. So what interested you in this position in the first place?
Um, well, I will be honest. It was that it was a financial opportunity.
Well, that makes
Mhm.
sense. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever done anything like this? Like, I see all these short jobs. Do you even plan to stick around more than that same thing? It seems like the longest you've done is saving all those seasons.
Well, I stick at a job as long as it's needed. Most of the small jobs end up finished, and then I leave them because, well, it's not a job anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll
So sort of
insight on
like-
that?
Oh.
Roll insight.
Yeah.
Yeah, please do. I really was gonna say, sort of like, what's the word for it? Temp worker? Is that what it's called?
Yes, I think that
8?
would be the.
Okay, well, Reed believes him.
22
Yeah.
from the bird.
Makes sense.
Gosh, I gotta.
Like a seasonal retail.
Okay.
But
Ouch. It took a second there. Ouch. Okay, I had to pull up this guy's sheet because I haven't actually moved him to a server sheet, so I had to actually pull up his DMV sheet.
No worries, Chief. Take your time.
Yeah, no, Juby. I hate to break it to you, he is actually telling the truth. But because you did beat his deception, this poor guy is a nervous wreck right now.
Mhm.
Aw.
Oh, oh, buddy.
Zero confidence in this job right now.
Mhm.
Mm.
Do it.
Oh.
Oh. What's he doing?
Bully
Mhm.
him.
Oh. Juby is not here to be nice. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
He is latched onto that nervousness with like a shark scenting blood in the water. Um, he has leaned forward, is resting his chin on his palm, and that grin of his has stretched just a bit too wide on the side of Cheshire Cat sort of grin. He's just like, oh, mm-hmm. The position of a butler, a head servant of the household, is going to take quite a while. You will have to be dealing with all the other positions in the house. Are you certain you'll be able to keep up with that?
Yes, I'm
Are
very-
you?
Yes.
You don't seem particularly confident in your skills.
A little blackbird has like popped out of his jacket and has started like nuzzling his cheek as he's like just blinking, sweating. I am confident enough.
Mm-hmm. And per se something was to go wrong, something unexpected, how would you handle that?
Well, I'd make sure everyone was safe first.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess it depends on the situation. You can't expect every problem to be solved the same way, can you?
There's just a slight head tilt, and he's still just looking. Well, should I roll intimidation?
Do it.
God,
No.
just tormenting this poor guy.
Yeah.
Listen,
Oh, but-
Wimdy is my second most bullyable character, if not most.
Mhm.
He fights with Tome for that spot.
Fair enough.
I'll see if the dice are
I
nice.
bought him. Oh my god!
Oh god, that's an at 20! Oh no!
Oh no.
I'm so sorry, Wendy.
Oh god. I'm just imagining Juby doing like the anime glasses shine.
Yeah, it does. It goes over his glasses, and he is just. Oh yeah, this guy. Mm-hmm.
He does that, and
His-
Wimsey like pops his collar to hide between it, and then you very faintly smell smoke. And he goes, and you just hear and he instantly starts like slamming his foot against the ground to put out a little fire that started beneath him. You could just tell me to go. You could do that. You don't have to this.
Hmm?
Yeah, I think that's enough, Jubilee.
Whatever am I doing?
Well, you're being a little bit hard on him, don't you think?
Oh, me? I mean, I've seen nobility. They're far worse than I've ever been.
I think Aurelia opens her mouth to refute that, and then just immediately closes her mouth.
Mhm.
She cannot argue against that at all.
Thank you very much. I bet some are nice.
But you'll have, being a butler, you will have to deal with, people who can be real pricks.
I can deal with pricks.
Mm-hmm. He leans further forward in his chair.
You can
And
just tell me to
mhm.
go. We don't need to play this game of chicken. You have won. You have very clearly won.
Yes, I think that's enough, Jubilee. But thank you for coming though, and I know it's probably a little bit nerve-wracking, but you still came here, and I think that's you're brave enough to come here, so that's a good thing. And I wish you well in whatever other jobs you try to pursue and all that. She's trying here, man. She's just like trying to like be nice.
Thank you. And he is scurrying out. His coat's slightly on fire at the end.
Oh gosh.
He scurries out to a little bag of snacks.
Yeah.
He grabs one and grabs one for his bird.
Aww.
I will point
Look.
at the gallery for real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, let me check that.
Yeah. Wimby is also gonna get good luck with your next job interview from Reed.
You get a quick little thank you.
Yeah, I'm looking at this because like yeah. But yeah, if you want to do another roll.
Yeah, I'll make that other roll. Uh-huh.
So I make sure everyone else has time for their lives too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The
you're still
number's
pretty
getting
good.
lower.
It is though, yeah.
I will say I know what that person is planning, and I cannot see it taking more than a minute max. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
All right, looks like we are having a surprise interview cameo then.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, I know exactly what this is.
Okay.
It might be a little bit before,
Oh my god. Yeah.
unless
Well,
I don't know.
Mhm.
Oh, there we go.
Hey!
All right, please welcome to the stage, Fletcher, everybody.
Ha! Here for a super fast cameo because someone begged me to.
All right. So I assume Reed calls for the next person to come in, and who comes in?
Someone going by the name Beck and Call. Let me type it up for you.
Oh my
Because
god.
I wanted to use this name sometime. So
I love that.
So
Can you describe this person for us?
yes, in comes a very tall, kind of spindly looking Toon, dressed up in a in a very nice tuxedo that is also extremely low cut. They have dark hair that's been styled to like hang down around their face, a long tail that sways behind them, and someone may actually be able to recognize this character.
Oh, I know
Oh my
exactly who this
God.
is now.
No,
Yeah.
no. Turn around right now.
Oh, yeah. They lock eyes with Tome, and immediately spin on their heel, which is like an 8-inch heel, by the way, and just stride out of the room.
Nope. Gods.
What?
Wait, where are you going?
Oh, I'm remembering that outfit. Oh boy.
Okay, I need a glass of water. Tome's gonna go
Yeah.
find a glass of water. Use a drink.
Sorry,
Mhm.
what happened just now? I'm very confused.
Why don't you talk about how your ex just popped in, eh, Dad?
Not an ex, a con artist. Moving on, next person, please.
A con? Oh gosh, I guess we dodged a bullet there. Then let's move on to the next person then. And so Obby's lad is still gotten pretty high rolls, which means I believe Noodle, you are up next with your interviewee.
Yes. All right. Well, Juby has probably been corralled to not be an asshole to the next interviewee. The person who walks in is a rubber hose Toon who seems quite built, is in a very professional tuxedo. He is a wolf and has an impressive mustache as he
Mustache.
Mhm.
Gosh.
walks in and places down a resume upon the table before taking a seat and sitting up very prim and proper.
Out of curiosity, is there a name on the on the resume?
Butler T. Wolf.
Butler.
Fitting.
Butler. I see.
Tome is narrowing his eyes at that name because he cannot tell if this is a fake Toon name or an actual Toon name.
It could be a real one. There are Toons who have names like this.
That's why he can't tell. He is literally named after a book. He is in no room to judge.
There we go. I can spell. Okay.
Reed,
Yeah.
Reed, the only real kind in the room, is named Reed Ledger.
Beautiful.
Thank you for coming in today, Mr. Wolf.
Oh, it is my pleasure to be here. I am absolutely overjoyed at the opportunity presented.
And I think she'll take a moment to take a look at the resume. What's the work history all looking like?
It shows, honestly, it looks impressive. There's several different positions that would be in a household, long-term things, several months, and explaining like, okay, did this, oversaw this, these are the events, stuff like that, all put together. Very neat and organized.
All right.
Interesting.
Can Tome roll
I
investigation?
roll-
Wait, you go.
Yeah, that.
Would you say insight or?
Insider investigation, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd say whichever one you want to pick.
Well, I'm gonna obviously go with insight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Reed's gonna go with investigation, even though it's not his strong suit.
Okay, that's a 24.
But looking over the small details seems important.
And a 12
Oop.
from Reed.
A 12 from Reed, looking
let's
through
see.
the resume to see if there's any inconsistencies.
Forgery! Fraud!
No. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, for one, the resume is put together very well. But you are able to pick up some things like, hang on, that's not a real part. That was part of a movie? Wait. No, that was a movie too. That was also a movie. And Tome,
I
just
like
reading this guy, he seems happy to be here. But you can tell he is, in fact, putting on an act.
Reed immediately catches on to oh, that was in a movie. Oh, that was in a movie. Okay. He just kind of gets it's very subtly mischievous. Oh, I think only Tome would be able to catch the mischievous air about it.
Tome and Reed handshaking, going, ah, yes. We're about to wreck this guy's day for trying to do fraud here.
Well, this certainly does seem like an impressive set of jobs and opportunities and whatnot.
Well, thank you.
You a fan of movies?
I do enjoy partaking of them, yes.
You have a favorite?
And he kind of twirls his mustache a bit as he thinks. Why, that's difficult to say. No, I don't think I have a particular favorite.
Because I do think you would really enjoy Tickets, Please, considering you have a conductor position listed in a very similar manner to that particular movie.
Well, I did in fact do a role quite akin to that.
I'm sure you did.
A role?
Yes, like a role within a workforce, a place.
What place? Names?
It's all there within my resume.
Correct.
I can't also help but notice that these are a lot of fictitious locations.
He's just there is a sweat drop as this wolf's ears go down.
You have a single legitimate bit on your resume, or are you here just to waste our time?
Well, they're all legitimate. It would seem I need to improve upon my butlerly acting.
Probably get better at forgery first, bud.
Oh no, none of that is forgery. Those were all my roles within those movies. And he sits up and sighs and does remove the mustache. My actual name is Buster T. Wolf. I am an actor, and I do apologize, but this opportunity was presented to me, and I wanted to try my hand to see if I could perform up to snuff, to be able to take on the role of a butler. It seems I am not particularly prepared.
Well, that and the fact that although we are in Inkwell, this is not a movie, and technically what you would have been doing is committing a crime.
Oh, no, I wouldn't have taken the job. I simply was using this interview as an opportunity to practice.
So you really were.
All right, I've heard enough. Reed is opening the door, and he's ushering out the wolf with a single movement from his staff.
Well, I do apologize. Have a good day. And he will get up quite apologetically and shuffle his way out.
I think once he's out of there, Aurelia just kind of sighs as she's kind of stroking Angelique's back. a bit. Like, gosh, what is with everyone lying about who they are at these things?
Plot.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Oh dear.
Oh gosh.
I hope at least we get at least one or two applicants who are actually here for what they say they are.
We'll probably have to sort through at least 5 more.
Yeah.
I'm
Speaking of the
going
next
to make
applicant.
that roll at disadvantage now.
All right. There we go. That's a 12.
It was a 2 and a 2.
I think we probably base our past perceptions on like whether we hear this. Obby, what do we all hear?
From somewhere inside the manor, there is the sound of a bump followed by a small crash. You know, in that tune-ish, oh no. I have knocked something over.
Oh gosh.
Definitely in the exact opposite area of where the interview is taking place.
Yeah. I think for the sake of this, there's probably like maybe like a side room or something here. Yeah, because there's like the foyer, there's a sitting room they're currently in, and then maybe like some kind of side room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
noise detected. Owl looking like, hello? Oops.
Hello? Who?
I think Aurelia will even call it. Hello? Is someone there? The interviewers are over in here.
There is a loud, no one is here.
Well, now that's a lie.
We can hear you.
Quiet growling,
Swear if you
followed by at first it doesn't seem like anyone's coming into the room, and then you look down. It is a small toon that resembles a bright purple rabbit, perhaps a stuffed toy of some kind. Decorating their front is a bright green lightning bolt shape, and they are wearing a big backpack that's almost the size of them.
Aurelia is like as suspicious as she is. She's also immediately just like, "Aww."
It is
Well,
an adorable sight.
yeah. Hi there. Are you're not here for the interview, are you? Did you get lost or something?
Yes, I got lost. This place is very big.
And like this little rabbit toon nervously toddles inside the room.
Aw.
Tome shoots Jubilee a glance, like, are you thinking the same thing I'm thinking?
Yeah, he was looking back like,
Con?
it's definitely a look of, don't stop me, I have an idea.
There is permission in his gaze. Go ahead.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep talking. Just keep talking. I need to roll something.
Oh boy.
Well, I can't help but notice you do seem a little bit young to be coming in for an interview like this. Did you come with a parent or something?
This toon bristles like an angry cat.
I am not a child.
Uh-huh. I just get to the roll zone. That was
Yeah, I see
first
that.
stealth and then sleight of hand.
Okay, this is funny. You go to reach for the bag. Your hand passes through the bag, and your hand comes in contact with something that's very metal.
Can he yoink that, whatever that metal is?
It's a lot bigger than you expected. It seems that maybe this is something covering the entirety of a large shape. You pull it back, and have you ever seen a jetpack?
Oh my god.
Good golly, this is a straight up jetpack.
Uh-huh.
And like there's a moment where it's suspended in the air for a moment before the rest of the rabbit kind of follows behind it. Like the rabbit just goes as
Oh, well,
the
that's
rest
fun.
of the tune follows suit with the jetpack, which is now hidden once inside the illusion of the backpack.
Mhm.
uh
They are getting
I think Aurelia,
dangled.
I think Aurelia just sighs and is like, again, really?
Mhm.
request, please desist.
I will in a bit. How about you explain what you were rummaging around for first?
What?
You made a crashing noise a bit. Why don't you explain what you were doing here? Preferably without lying, because we will know.
That is classified information.
Aha.
Ah. Well, then I guess this position is classified away from you. We can only take people.
Can
who
I
are
throw
willing
them
to
out a
recruit.
window?
No.
What position? I am upright.
No, but they have a jetpack. They'll be fine.
No.
Oh.
Maybe not through the window. I don't want one of them getting broken or hurt or anything.
I can
See?
fix it. I can fix
Jubilee.
it.
Jubilee.
Fine. Fine. Not out through the window.
You can go to the door though.
Yes, maybe take them to the door, please.
Yep. And the little rabbit is getting toted out the door.
The rabbit seems very suitably grumpy.
He does not chuck them. He does not. He wants to, but he does not.
Tome is so proud.
Yeah.
Comes back,
Request.
flops on the
Request.
Mm-hmm.
May I observe?
No.
Aw.
No, shoo. Scurry off.
There is a loud raspberry sound as you drop the rabbit off, and as soon as they've been like dropped outside the door, there is like the kind of sound of like the little rockets of the jetpack activating, and you can see this little shape of a tune rocketing off.
Oh my god.
I love
Not out the
that.
door, elsewhere in the manor. That may be a problem you have to deal with later.
Oy.
Oh
Like,
my
I've done my
God.
part. That's no longer my issue. No stars.
That's the butler's
Right.
issue once we hired them.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. All right, and so I think this kind of montage of just terrible applicants just kind of keeps going on, and I don't think every single person here is lying about who they are, but like there are definitely a few who are like just everyone just seems wildly underqualified, or they just have like some like ridiculous flaw that makes them completely unsuited to this whole thing, and you can just see like Aurelia's mounting confusion as this goes on. Like there isn't a single one that works out. I think she'll probably like say as much like out loud.
Yeah, no. Can I just have some of those? Just give me some of those resumes. At this point, they're better used as origami at this. Ugh.
Reed was way ahead of you.
Yeah.
Ruby's gone from the sprawl being like, yes, I am not caring about this. I am just here to be a prick to it is like exhausted. And he's like, why are we here?
We can only assume.
I will
hiring
ask.
him.
Just to
I
suffer.
will ask. Do you want to take a break now? Because it's been a little over an hour.
Yeah. Why not?
Either way.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So we're gonna pause for a little bit, and we will come back to what happens next. All right, and we are back. So yeah, so I think like after just this montage of like terrible interviewees, all of you guys are kind of like a bit exhausted after all this. Yeah, it seems like you've gotten through most of the folks that were here now, though. So at least you're nearing the end, though not with much to show for it. I think it's
Mhm.
like you guys are kind of taking a bit of a break right now to kind of like leaf through any of the like the resumes you've got and see if like there's anything salvageable in here, or just like take a snack break, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
But at some point, you guys hear a knock on the door, and you hear someone from behind it saying, "Do pardon me. Are the interviews still going on over here?"
Regrettably, yes.
Yeah.
Reed
I.
will open the door.
It sounds as though they haven't been going quite well. That is rather unfortunate. Person says, and as you open the door, let me grab the art for this person. All right. So, you see. So yeah, you see a man enter. He's rather tall, around like little over 6 feet at the very least.
Mhm.
He is currently he's dressed in all black. He's like got kind of like one of those like black long coats, like a white
Mhm.
dress shirt and black trousers underneath, and a nice black tie. Fairly like not overly formal, but like nice clothes you'd wear to an interview, that sort of thing. And kind of winter
Mhm.
clothes because it is still winter at the moment, so a bit chilly out there.
Mhm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but what is most striking about this fellow is most likely the fact that well, for starters, his skin is this like deep shade of red. Like at first you might think it's like a sunburn of some sort, but no, like his whole entire face is like this, and his neck and all of that.
Mhm.
And it is the same shade of red as the long, thin horns that are protruding out of his forehead. And
Mm-hmm.
if you look a bit more closely, you can see like his ears are a bit pointy. And I'm not sure if all your characters would know what a tiefling is, but for those who do, you would recognize him as one. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the person who would not probably recognize him as a tiefling would be Aurelia, who has never seen one. And
Mhm.
Aurelia, as she is watching this man enter the room and walk up to the table, she is staring at him wide-eyed, and in a brief flash, she is just staring at the horns, and in a brief flash, she no longer sees the thin, long red horns. She sees a pair of curled, white and black striped horns, and a wide grin full of razor-sharp teeth, and a single large staring yellow eye with a horizontal pupil and a horrible, horrible cackle that echoes in her ears, and she is just staring wide eyed, frozen stiff as a statue as this man approaches and sets his own resume down on the table. You guys will absolutely notice that she's having this reaction. She's dead silent and just sitting there staring at this man.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Father
All of us rolling
instinct
insight anyway.
Yeah.
activated.
Yeah.
Dice parser, please. Avray, why? Why?
Try to do an R exclamation. Sometimes that might work.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Wait, there
we
it
go.
went.
Took a little bit to load.
14. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. What specifically are you guys looking for in this fella?
He at Tome is actually not looking at this guy at all. His gaze is entirely focused on Aurelia.
Mhm.
Aurelia.
Aurelia. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reed
Yeah.
doesn't know Ariella all that well, so I think he actually is focusing on this new individual with the
Mhm.
13.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The 14 is Juby. Again, keeping an eye on this guy. He's figured out just one look at Aurelia and is like, oh, that's not good. That's bad.
Yeah.
And
So
has
yeah,
probably I'll say he's probably stood up and like extended a wing to get between Aurelia and this interviewee,
yeah,
like
yeah,
shield.
definitely. Yeah, I'll say Juby and Reed. It's with those roles, it's kind of hard to get a read on this guy. You don't get like anything actively malicious from him. Like maybe a
Mhm.
little mischievous at worst, but like for the most part, he seems like like he's not up to anything too bad from what you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, again, it's a bit hard to get a read on this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Tome, yeah, you don't even need to look that hard. You can tell Aurelia, she is frozen in fear. She might be having some kind of panic attack right now.
Tome is going to allow Juby to put up the wing, and he is going to move next to her and kind of crouch down so that he's eye level with her. Okay.
Mhm.
I want you to focus on my voice now, all right? Can you hear me
Mhm.
talking to you?
Actually, before I forget, I need to roll something for her as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Baby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll resolve that in a little bit. Let's see. In the meantime, though, the tiefling, noticing everybody's reactions, he kind of like takes a step back. He's dropped the resume on the table, so it's sitting there, but he's kind of like taking a step back and saying like, "Oh, I'm quite sorry. Have I done something to upset the young lady?"
We'll need just a moment. We'll figure this out. Do you mind stepping out for just a few moments? We'll look over your resume and call you back in once we have. We need to just a moment to review it. She's quite tired.
Mm-hmm. No, it's quite all right. I think I understand what's going on here. And he kind of closes his eyes for a moment as he's saying that, and then opens them back up, and you see those kind of red eyes shining at you. And he has a very kind of like teasing, mischievous grin on his face, and he says, this has little to do with me. I've taken my appearance as simply it is simply my appearance that disgusts you, is it not?" And he's just kind of like smirking as he says this.
Perhaps it would be best if you stopped trying to assume and allowed us to evaluate the situation, sir.
Yeah, and as you guys are saying that, Angelique, who has been sitting on Ari's lap this whole time, seems to have finally had enough, and she jumps down from her lap and kind of like scampers under the table and pops out on the other side, and she has her hackles raised and she is hissing at this man. The man, he stares down at her for like a brief moment, and then in a blink of an eye, he's like kneeling in front of this cat, just completely enthralled. You can see like the little anime sparkles going like around his head, and he's just saying, "My, what an exquisite creature you are." And he's just kind of like completely ignoring you guys now and just like admiring Angelique, and he's just kind of like muttering to her like, yes, what exquisite fur. You must be so soft and luxurious. You must be quite well taken care of, yes?" He's just kind of like just going on and on like this. Angelique is just like staring at him like so very confused.
I think Juby is looking at Reed like, what the fuck? You know what's going on? He's not quite
Reed
saying anything yet.
Reed has taken the opportunity to pick up the resume that has been left on the table, and it just kind of gives Jubilee a big shrug, like he's not sure what to make of this.
I will say with with the man not leaving, Tome will try and like let her know beforehand, but he's gonna inform Angelique that he's planning on picking her up, and he's gonna try and take her to that separate room so that he can kind of get her away from that, give her away, and allow her to try and calm down. He will make sure that she understands though beforehand that he is going to be picking her up. It is him. He is going to talk to her the whole time so that
Fair enough.
she knows that it's him.
Mhm.
And he's
Yeah, I
trying to
think yeah, I think at this point, like she's kind of like coming out of it at the very least. She's just kind of like taking a few deep breaths. Yeah. And if anyone wants to like try and get this guy's attention while he's like fawning over this cat, you can attempt to.
I think Juby waits at least until Tome's got Aurelia a fair distance away, before kind of clearing his throat and like, well, if you're just here to look at the cat, I would suggest you leave until perhaps contacted at another time.
Hmm. And I think that he finally snaps out of what he's doing and says, "My sincerest apologies." And he'll stand up. Um, I forgot myself there for a moment. I simply adore cats, and I get a bit distracted whenever I see one. At any rate, my apologies for wasting your time, but I understand that I'm not welcome here, so I believe I shall be taking my leave now. But I thank you and the young lady for this opportunity, regardless. And he kind of like crosses an arm over his chest and diagonally, and kind of like does a little like polite bow to you guys.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I yeah, I see
Yeah,
Obby's
and
role.
okay, yeah. So yeah, he's leaving. We'll pause for a moment, like just to consolidate that role. So yeah, Reed, you are looking over this resume, and it is very neatly penned out. Like you might have even used like a nice like fancy fountain pen or something. It's got like nicely written, very legible. And indeed, under this, it looks it looks completely legit, and it all the skills listed are exactly like what a person would need to be a butler. If anything, this guy might be a little bit overqualified. Under like his work history, though, there is only one thing listed, um, and it says butler for the Ashby household for 3.5 years.
Hmm.
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 And I'll let you roll history if you want on the name Ashby, if you'd like.
Oh boy, history.
Mhm.
I love
Yeah.
history. 12.
Well, so yeah, that's not going to be quite enough to get anything substantial. So I'm going to say that it definitely sounds like the name of like a noble family of some kind. So
Mhm.
assuming this resume is legit, you get the sense that this guy probably served under some kind of like noble family in the past for 3 years, evidently. Yeah, interesting that it's the
Mhm.
only one listed though, but that's about all you get.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And I think
Reed
SCV.
is.
Yeah. Oh, no, you
Mhm.
can go. Sorry.
Reed, I was just gonna say, Reed's gonna just kind of pocket this information for a little bit and kind of wait for the others to, you know, do what they're gonna do.
Hmm.
He'll
Definitely.
bring this up once everyone's more suited to for conversation.
Okay. So, see, I think after like as he's leaving, Tome and Aurelia can come back. Notably, though, Aurelia seems a bit different at the moment. Like, she was very a bit more shy and of course like very shocked and scared a moment ago. Currently now her mood seems like quite a bit more stormy, and she's got a journal in her hand that she's kind of like flipping through and reading. And as she approaches you guys, she closes the journal and says, "All right, sorry, I'm trying to get back up to speed on what's going on. Did you manage to get rid of that fucking devil already, or?"
Well,
Reed, slightly flabbergasted by the sudden attitude change.
Yeah.
mhm,
I think devil, but
for the most part, not devil.
Tiefling.
Hmm.
Well, it looked like a goddamn devil, whatever it was. Just as long as he's gone. God, of all the times for this to happen. Ugh.
Deep breaths.
Well, if he's left, at the very least. Are you all right?
I'm fine. I mean, well, not great. I mean, I really shouldn't be here, and now I don't know. Aurelia's somewhere. I'm trying to reach out to her, but I can't. God, times for this to happen. What point are we at in the interview? Are we almost done with it, or?
Uh, I think that's probably the last one that's gonna come in today. After that, I don't. I think that's enough stress for one day.
Uh, all right. Let me just do another check to make sure that nobody's hanging around. We can get them all to leave. And she'll kind of like wander over to the door and open it up. there's only one person there currently. He is another sort of you'd say probably a Warren Toonkind. He's some kind of mustelid, maybe like a weasel or a stoat, one of those kinds. And
Mhm.
this one is actually dressed up quite nicely in like he's got like the nice tuxedo and the gloves and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And he'll turn to look at her and say, "Pardonnez-moi, mademoiselle. I have not missed the interview yet, have I? We're trying to finish it up. I guess we can see you. Just try and make it quick, all right?" She'll hold the door open and let him inside.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. And she'll just kind of like plop down in the chair. Angelique will climb into her lap again, and she's just kind of stroking her to calm herself down.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll say, "All right, let's get this over with. Do you have a resume?" Mais oui, mademoiselle. Let me just get that. And he'll reach into his coat pocket to pull out his resume. But I need to roll something here.
Oh, fear.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
that works. All right. So as he is reaching into his pocket, you guys see something small and shiny whiz through the air and hit right in his hand, like perfectly hit him, like this small little target. And he lets out a yell like, "Ow! What kind of mook throws a fork? What?" And
What?
sure enough, there is a very nice silver fork currently embedded in his hand. But what you might also notice is that you hear something clatter to the ground, and it is not a piece of paper for resume. It is a small pistol.
Oh,
And
Okay.
Oh
yep.
no.
um,
Yeah.
can I?
Jubilee is drawing his sword and immediately pointing it at this weasel.
Yeah.
Reed's not gonna let the
Yeah.
weasel get up. Reed is immediately running over with his staff. He's putting a foot onto the weasel and immediately like holding the quarterstaff above its neck.
Tome has, with the others already having the guy very well threatened, Tome just moves to like grab Aurelia and like kind of curl around her and like human shield her and like is shooting the coldest glare at the weasel right now.
Mhm.
Out of curiosity, does anybody look at the over at the doorway, which I will note was kind of left open? Aurelia didn't bother to close it when she let the weasel in.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think Jubilee looks. He sees that Reed's got the weasel pinned. He's
Hmm?
still ready, but okay, there was someone else that threw the fork.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
you look over at the doorway, and standing in the doorway is that same tiefling from before, and he's just kind of like smiling pleasantly, saying, "Do pardon the interruption. I was just a bit curious as to, well, why someone would want to bring a handgun to an interview like this." And the weasel, who's currently pinned to the ground, says, "Ah, nuts. All right, time for plan B." And he manages to wrestle one hand free to shove a finger in his mouth and let out a very sharp whistle. And
Can Reed smack him in the head and try to knock him out? He's gonna be too late, obviously, but
of course, yeah. No, you can attempt to. I'm gonna say like maybe roll to hit with advantage because you got him pinned.
yay!
This is fine.
19.
All right, that will absolutely hit.
Uh-huh.
All right,
Roll
so
damage.
remind me, is Rita a monk? Is he like going for a stunning strike or?
Monk, yes.
Okay.
Hitting with the staff, which means it'll be a d8 plus 3 of damage. 10 needs to make a con save for stunning strike.
All right, let me just this and unsave. 15.
Da-da-da-da. I think that's the DC he has to beat. So unfortunately, not not stunned,
Mhm.
alas.
All right,
Reed
but you
is
still
gonna
managed to get a pretty
curse.
good smack. Yeah. But yeah,
Reed
anyways,
is gonna curse and just very quickly shout, "Guys, perimeter check. We need that now."
all right. Okay, so a few things happen kind of like all at once in the chaos of the situation. The windows that are on the opposite side of the room, you see four more of those weasels kind of like jump through, shattering them.
Mhm.
And
Uh-huh.
the guys move just around you guys. Aurelia, she stands up from her chair and she says, "You guys hold them off. I'm gonna go call for help." And she's gonna head for the door. Angelique hops off her lap and she transforms back into her little angel form and brandishes her golden scythe and follows after Aurelia. As she's running past the tiefling who's like standing by the door, he says, "You may not want to." But before he can finish that thought, out in the foyer area, there are five more of these weasels who are now moving to surround the girls. And now is the
Okay.
time for us to roll initiative. And how this is going to
Oh.
work, because I don't want to have like
Clever.
a million people at once. We are going to kind of split this into two separate fights. So there's going to be you guys are dealing with the five weasels who are in the sitting room. Meanwhile, I have pre-rolled a fight that will involve Aurelia, Angelique, and this tiefling fighting the other five. And I will
Got
go
it,
into
okay.
describing those
Mhm.
guys. So I'll let you guys roll,
Mhm.
and then I will roll for my guys. And to keep the initiatives like not too crowded, I'm gonna do kind of pairs. So I'm gonna have so Weasel 1 and 2 as a pair, then Weasel 3 and 4, and then Weasel 5 on his own. I'm gonna say Weasel 5 is the one that you currently have pinned down. So
Mhm.
Sweet. Okay. Well, okay. This is everything
Alright.
just happened kind of all at once.
Mhm.
Things sure do be happening. Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Bless you.
I got a 21 for Reed's initiative. He's engaged.
Mhm.
Tome's initiative is also a 21.
It's the same modifier.
They are ready.
Okay, so I'm gonna need a minute to compile all of these.
Mhm.
Let's see. Okay.
Man as a father, small child in danger, activate
Mhm.
fighting instincts.
Yep. Okay, so that's Juby, and then Juby, then Tome, and then Reed. Okay. Da-da-da.
Mhm.
Popper in the
Swashbuckler
chat, right?
rogue.
Googly moogly, it's all good.
Yeah. Looks like so it looks like Tome and Reed were identical. So and the modifiers are the same. So I'm gonna let you guys decide. Do you want Tome or Reed to go first?
I'm good either way.
I'll have Tome go first because Reed's technically occupied with opponent already.
Nod.
Gotcha.
Fair.
Okay, so then we've got these two goons, and then these guys. And fittingly enough, goon number 5, who's pinned down, is going last.
Mhm.
How fitting.
Alright, so that is our initiative.
Mhm.
Okay, give me a sec, I have to pull up the map as well. I do have a little map. I'm gonna have to like reorganize this a tiny bit. Da-da-da.
Mhm.
Where everyone is positioned now.
Yippee! But oh, that was cool. That was very
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
I need
Okay, that
to
should be good.
remind
So I'll just
myself
Reed,
where
normally I don't
people
condone
fit.
violence, but this was an attempted assassination.
Yeah.
There's an exception for this one.
Yep.
Where's your bullshit?
And here is our current map. Or wait, shoot,
Okay.
sorry, I got the wrong person. That's Tome, not
Mhm.
I read, yeah.
Mhm.
Let
Whoops.
me get the correct one. Da-da-da.
It's all good.
Eh. I am doing my best. There we
You're
go.
doing amazing.
Mhm.
Your
the
best
correct
is
one.
fantastic. I love you.
Aw. Alright, so I think I'm gonna let you guys do a round, and then I'm gonna describe what's going on with the other fight going on in the foyer. So
Heck
we are
yeah.
So yeah, top of the order, Jubilee. What do you want to do?
Cool. Bonus action. He is activating his sword with a flourish as he holds out this rapier and says, "Wisp, let's give him a show." And is going to go towards the goon at the top left. That one.
Top left. Okay.
Mhm.
Where do you want to position? Like south of them, diagonally,
South
like
of them.
south of them. All right, let's move
Mhm.
Juby.
25,
All right.
15. And then let's roll to hit.
Alrighty, roll them bones.
25.
That will absolutely hit. Roll damage.
Excellent. So that is because he's a swashbuckler rogue, and there are no other enemies within 5 feet of him. So he
Yep.
gets
True.
his bullshit.
Mhm.
Or +1 fire damage, +1 necrotic damage, plus his sneak attack, which is 3d6. 23 points of damage.
Kill,
All
kill,
right.
kill, kill.
Yeah, no, you one shot this guy. How do you want to do this for this guy?
It is his sword lights up and he just bolts over and slashes at this weasel, turning in a flourish, like not even looking as they fall behind him, and immediately aiming at the other one, and just glaring as, again, anime flash over his glasses as he points his sword at them and just goes, "You're next."
Very badass. All right, is that your turn?
Yes, that is his turn.
All right, Tome, you're up.
Jubilee very much has this side taken care of, so Tome is going to head over to the other side, especially considering he assumes that their new friend can take care of the child pretty well. He is going to be keeping an eye out on the foyer just in case, but for the sake of mechanics, he will never be interfering.
Of course, yeah. And you can see what's going on. The doors are wide open now, so you can see that well enough.
So he's going to head over to the one that is opposite to the one Jubilee just took down. And with a bonus action, he's going to cast Shadow Blade, and then he is going to do his best to hit.
So that's the one in the top right, like the upper right corner?
Yes.
Okay. Move him. And do you want to be like west of them or southwest of them?
Southwest.
All right, put you there. All right.
Modifiers. Yep. Okay. So that's good. Hit. $25 hit.
That will hit. Yes.
All right. He does not get sneak attack right now, but he can just roll his damage. So he does 13 damage.
All right. 13, pretty good. Yeah, you managed to bloody this guy.
And that will be the end of his turn because that was his bonus action and his action.
Alrighty.
Okay. Well, Reed does not like this weasel. Reed does not appreciate this weasel. One-handed, he's going to smack the side of the weasel's head like a golf club. That's gonna be a +6 to hit with the quarterstaff. 8. That don't hit probably.
Unfortunately, this is a very wiggly weasel, and he just like cartoonishly stretches out of the way of your staff.
Okay, well maybe it's the unarmed strike.
Monks,
Because he
that
gets
was
that
my
as
first
well
attack.
for this one. 10. Okay.
Sadly, that does not hit either. This guy is just like wiggling like crazy.
Cool. Bonus action. Flurry of blows. I get 2 more unarmed strikes.
Punch him! Punch him!
I love monks.
Punch, 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 punch.
No. There we go. Finally. Okay. This last one, freaking, there's attempted punches, there's attempted kicks. This one is gonna land where the sun don't shine.
Oh man! Oh god!
It works for real kind. Maybe it works for Toons.
It absolutely works for Toons. He just lets out a ooh as he's hit. Actually, I think his voice goes up a few octaves too.
Oh my god!
Oh gosh, where did your unarmed strike damage? I always forget this. I don't have it on this sheet. Heck, I need to look this up.
If I remember correctly, it is a I can't remember if monks get a variety, but it is normally your strength. And then if you're proficient in it, it's your strength plus.
It changes depending on for monks because
sometimes
they
it's
usually
dex,
rely on
sometimes it's strength.
dex.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it changes depending on what level they are, but I can look that up real quick.
No.
Right. Yeah.
Da-da-da-da. It's a D6. Cool, got it. Whee!
Beat 'em up, Reed.
5 damage.
5
Nice.
damage. All right.
I think it would only be fitting if I spent another key point to also have it be sonic strike.
Yeah. If anything's gonna stun him. All right. So that's another con save.
Yep, con save.
Alrighty.
Ah,
That's
dang it.
19.
Okay, well.
Yeah, you would think that would stun him, but this weasel is more resilient than he looks.
Mm-hmm.
The presence of his
Alright.
goons bolsters him.
He's just glorying down at this stupid weasel.
Yeah, funny you say that actually, because these guys do have pack tactics. Speaking of which, yeah, we are on to goons 3 and 4. So goon 3 is going to take a swing at Tome. So let's see here. All right. Oh god, that's a nat 20. I'm so sorry, Tome.
I get to add a new star to the collection. Let's go.
Uh-oh.
Hit him.
Alrighty. Okay, so
Sorry, I got
Sure.
Listen, this is my one character who I've yet to actually have like a nat 20 hit, and I was literally thinking about this the other day.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. It's one of those things. Somebody told me, they're like, yeah, no, the best way to take joy in a nat 20 is to just imagine as a new collection for your angst.
All right, so yeah, that is 10 damage. He, where do you want him to hit you?
Anywhere.
I imagine, yeah. So he's got a short sword, so probably go for the chest, I'd say, or maybe like the shoulder. I'll let you pick.
Probably chest because he is a weasel and Tome is 7 feet tall.
Makes sense. So yeah, no, you get a nasty slash across your chest.
Get a little growl
All
from
right.
Tome.
And meanwhile, his buddy is going to move over to where Reed is.
Mm-hmm.
And because of pack tactics, actually he's going to flank him. Well, actually, it doesn't really matter because he has pack tactics. Either way, he's getting advantage. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Reed, does a 21 hit?
Yeah, it sure does.
Alrighty. Well, at least it wasn't nat 20 on that one, so you got that.
Uh-huh. He's got that going for him.
Mm-hmm.
4 damage, not quite so bad. This one is wielding a club, and I think he kind of bonks you over the head to avenge his buddy.
Reed just
Alright.
glowers.
Okay, and so that's those guys. God, I ended up getting the Omni turn with all my guys all at once. Yeah, we were moving on to just Goon 1 because Goon 2 got downed in a single hit. I think Goon
Glass
1 is
cannon.
gonna back up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And is gonna take out this one's wielding a crossbow, so he's gonna take a shot at Jubilee.
Mm-hmm.
Let's roll them bones. Alright.
I was gonna be like, shoot, Reed, see where it gets you.
Nat 1! He's so scared of like what's happened to his buddy that his hands are shaking so much the crossbow just like completely goes wide and like misses by a mile.
I will say too as well, when Tome got hit, Jubilee snapped his wings out and turned at the other goons and fucking hissed like the angriest owl you have ever heard. He has like a 20-foot wingspan.
You do
And-
Yeah,
You do that to your father? You do that
he's angry. So yeah, that's probably a
Hard hit
little
father.
scary.
Oh, death for Weasel. Death for Weasel for 1,000,000 years.
You hurt the father? Die.
Mhm.
Best part about Nat 20,
All
just
right.
seeing Juby go feral.
Mhm.
Alright. So, and now we're on to Weasel number 5. He's not going anywhere, but he is gonna attempt to take a stab. God, remind me, the rules for prone. Is it a disadvantage if he's prone, or is it, like,
Yes.
not?
It's disadvantage.
Let me see.
So the prone rules.
Prone,
A prone creature's only movement option is to crawl unless it stands up and thereby ends the condition. The creature has disadvantage on attack rolls. An attack roll against the creature has advantage if the attacker is within 5 feet of the creature. Otherwise, the attack roll has disadvantage.
mhm.
Okay, so he's got disadvantage. Alright.
Mm-hmm. Until he like actually gets up.
Exactly, yeah.
But is he
Mhm.
brave enough to risk that?
Oh man, he missed out on a nat 20, but yeah, that's a 13.
Man!
I take it that misses.
Like I'm just picturing the weasel like tries to stab at Reed and Reed just knocks it back with the staff instinctively.
Very nice.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're back at the top of the round, so we are going to cut over to what's happening in the foyer. So, alright, so we have Xavier's like a few feet behind the girls who are kind of like, Aurelia is like looking pretty scared because like, she's like just ran into the middle of an ambush. But interestingly enough, the first weasel does not go for her. He points at Angelique and shouts, "There it is! There's the angel! Get her!" And he's gonna run up and attempt to grapple her, but fortunately she is very small and very fast, so you see this like brief moment of like him like it's not quite a Death Cloud fight, but like he's like trying to snatch at her and she's just like dipping and ducking out of the way for each grab. Right?
Mhm.
Alright. And while that is happening, you see Xavier pull out a couple more of those a few forks and also a couple of knives. And while this goon is distracted by trying to grab at Angelique, he runs at them and attempts to stab a couple of those silver into them. Only one manages to hit, but then he also goes for a flurry of blows and manages to knock him in the back of the head.
Monk.
Yep, he sure is.
I love
But
monks.
yeah, but while he's busy beating down on this goon, one from behind him fires a shot with a crossbow, and this is actually a critical hit. But Xavier, he snaps his head in their direction. You can see like a little gleam in his eye as he holds up his hand, and he catches the crossbow bolt between his fingers. He says, "Oh dear, how very careless of you to drop this. Here, allow me to return it to you." And he hurls it like right back at him, like at the exact same speed. And it hits him in the shoulder like pretty decently hard. At this point, it's pretty obvious that like Xavier's kind of the big threat here, so another weasel rushes in and clubs him in the side. Meanwhile, while all the attention's on him, Aurelia very smartly is taking a few steps back to get away from the skirmish. And for a moment, she's kind of panicking, like not sure what to do. But then Angelique shouts up. She shouts out, "Evelyn, use your magic!" Right, of course. and she is going to cast Sickening Radiance, and she manages to get it in a radius that gets 4 of the goons all in there. The tiefling is just barely on the edge of it, manages to not hit him. And as her bonus action, she commands Angelique to attack the goon that's nearest to her. So Angelique moves to flank that one with Xavier, lands a pretty decent hit with her little scythe, and knocks that one out cold. And that is the end of their round, so we are getting back to what you guys are. So the good news is it seems like that group is doing pretty well against the ones that they're fighting.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, back to the top of the order, Juby. That guy just beat up your dad. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I have a question. I have a question for
Mhm.
spell rules. Because I've seen it played where you can cast 1 leveled spell and 1 cantrip if one is a bonus action.
If it's a bonus action, I'll allow it, yeah. I'm fine with doing
Cool.
2 spells, as long as one's an action, one is a bonus action.
Excellent. For his action, he is turning to look at the one that hit his dad. That is definitely within 60 feet, and I need a wisdom save from that one because he is casting Toll the Dead.
Ooh, he's not moving, is he? Because I need to update the map.
No, he's within range. He's not moving anywhere.
Okie dokie. Let me just grab the map. And you said that's a wisdom save.
Yep.
Alright. Surprisingly, these guys are not terribly wise.
Mhm.
That's a 3, ladies
No.
and gents.
So that is
Kill.
because
Kill.
that weasel is damaged already, correct?
Hang on, that is number 4.
I think
so...
Tome hit that one with the shadow
Yeah,
blade,
they're
right?
damaged. They are damaged, yep.
Cool, that's 2d12.
Mm-hmm.
10 more points of
Good.
damage?
Alrighty. That is enough. Yeah, you hear the chimes of their doom ringing in their
Yeah,
ears, and
it
they
sounds
collapse to
like
the
they
ground.
are inside the bells of a clock tower. And it
Yeah.
is bang loud.
Yeah, I think they just kind of grab their ears and let out a yell as they collapse to the floor.
Thank you, Jubilee.
Hey, not a
Alright.
problem. And he turns
breath.
back. Deep breath later. And he turns back to look at the one that retreated from him. That I think I counted it right. They're still within 30 feet.
Yeah, I think it's about 20 feet away.
Okay.
Yep.
It's about 25, but yeah.
Cool. He is turning again, and from his hip there is a glitter of red energy at what looked to be just a bejeweled guitar pick, as he is casting Compelled Duel.
Ooh. Let me
So I
pull that
need
spell up.
another wisdom save, and I think I know how to get spells with this.
I got it. I got my account connected, so that's a wisdom save.
Mhm.
All right. That's another
No.
3.
Yeah.
At least they're consistent.
Mhm. So how that appears is you hear a click, and on this one weasel, a spotlight shines down on them
Oh my
of red
God.
light, and Juby just kind of, with his free hand, just does a bring it motion.
I love Jubilee so
Nice.
much.
Points at him, theater kid.
Yes,
Good.
and that is the
Yes,
end of his turn.
delicious.
Alrighty. In that case, which of those red dots is the weasel that is not on the ground next to Reed?
The one north of Reed is Weasel 5. That's the one on the ground.
Okay, so the one to the side is not on the ground. Got it.
Yeah, that one is standing.
Tome is going to move within 5 feet of that, and then he is going to use the Inquisitive Rogue feature, Insightful Fighting. And
okay, I assume you're getting kind of to the east of them, so you're not next to the other guy. All right.
Wait, he would already have advantage. He doesn't even need Insightful Fighting.
Ta-da.
Yeah, that's right. Because now you're flanking at that point with
Sweet.
Reed. So
So he is going to roll to hit with his Shadow Blade.
all right, roll that.
23 hit.
That will absolutely hit.
All right. And then
Wait, you've got advantage. Roll again. See if you get a nat 20.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, go for it. At 20, nat 20.
Nah.
Oh,
All right. And then let me roll that damage, which is going to be 3d8. I forgot last time to use his cold, his bonus damage he gets from his gloves, his freezing gloves, and then his sneak attack should be another plus 2d6. So, man, 18 damage.
wow. Yeah. You don't knock him out, but yeah, he is definitely bloodied. He is not looking so good.
That will. Does Tome have anything else he can do that I can think of? Because he doesn't.
Bonus action?
I'm like, I don't think he has any other bonus actions to use.
Right, let me drop the map for us.
Yep. Nope.
Hmm.
That's all. That's all he's gonna do.
All right.
Red.
All right. Reed, it is your turn.
Time to hit.
Yeah.
One-handed
Smack up.
quarterstaff. Let's go.
Still hitting the ones to the north.
16. No one to the north. Yep, he actually has advantage on that one. I've realized because he's prone.
Yeah, you want to try again?
So-
Yeah.
Yeah. That's 16.
All right, either way, it hits. Roll damage.
Yippee! Let's roll a d6 of damage.
Fuck it up, Reed. Fuck it up.
5 damage.
Ooh, he's just barely hanging on now.
Cool. Here's my unarmed strike. 19 to hit.
That'll hit. A pretty good feeling you're gonna knock him out.
Mm-hmm.
Read out here.
Yeah.
Whacking this weasel like a pinata.
Uh-huh. He
Just hear
smacks
smack,
the
smack,
weasel
smack,
across
smack.
the head with the quarterstaff, and in a dramatic one-liner, he goes, "Sorry, you didn't make the interview," and stomps on his chest with his foot.
Go!
Nice.
This is real kind of damage. There's probably a crack or two of ribs. Not
Oh,
gonna lie.
absolutely, yeah. Yeah, this guy definitely has some little stars floating around his head and like the swirly eyes.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And then,
anything else, Reed?
Bonus action, flurry of blows. Gonna get the other guy who's inconveniently flanked by
Yay.
Tome right now.
Yeah, so
It's
you get advantage on
advantage,
that
yes.
one. Yeah.
23 to hit for the first
I'm
one.
pretty sure that's gonna hit, yeah.
7 damage.
7. Alrighty. That is that one. 7. Yep, that knocks him out too.
Yeah. Reed doesn't even use a hand. He just lifts his head back and smacks his own head against the weasel's head.
Yeah, headbutt.
And he crumples like a rag doll.
Excellent.
And then with the last
Alright.
flurry of blows, he's actually going to do something he could do. He'll move 5 feet closer to Tome and I'm gonna take a picture of this so you can see. Part of being the Tranquility Monk is that he has healing hands. Your mystical touch can heal wounds. Starting at 3rd level, you have a pool of magical healing power that replenishes when you take a long rest. With that pool, you can restore a total number of hit points equal to your monk level times 10. As an action, you can touch a creature and draw power from this pool to restore a number of hit points to that creature, up to the maximum amount in the pool. Specifically, when you use your flurry of blows, you can place one of the unarmed strikes with the use of this feature. This feature has no effect on undead and constructs.
Sweet.
Very, very
So
cool.
for his last flurry of blows, he's going to immediately rest his hand against Tome's injury, and he pour 10 hit points of healing into that. Boom.
Tome is
Excellent.
back to
All
full
right,
health.
Tome. Woohoo!
Yippee!
Thank you.
Alrighty. Nicely done, everybody. So, there is currently one poor sod left on the map.
Uh-huh. And Reed's gonna run up to him because he still has like 40 feet of movement. He can't attack, but boy, is he
Alright.
closing in.
Okay, let me move it. So
A moment of silence for this poor weasel.
Love monks.
Alright.
I love monks. I love monks.
Alright, so that's where we currently are. Reed is rapidly approaching your location. Alright.
What you gonna
in the
do?
meantime, though,
Boom. What you gonna do?
Alright, well, this weasel doesn't have much of a choice but to shoot at Juby, thanks to the compelled duel. And this guy is definitely, like, shaking in his boots. If not for the compelled duel, there's a very good chance he probably would have given up at this point. My golly, he is determined. Alright.
Oh,
That one! That
No.
one, this guy has rolled.
that
I
is
think at this point,
not
like,
a
his
good
crossbow
thing.
just straight up jams, and he has to take a minute to, like, frantically attempt to unstick it, but he's not gonna have much time. Before we get to this guy's imminent ass beating, though, let's cut back to the foyer and see what fun those guys are having. All right. So, at the top of this round, on the goons' turns is when sickening radiance takes effect, and immediately it knocks out like Actually, hang on, let me double check this. Okay, yeah, to get this in the right order. So, two of the goons immediately take damage from sickening radiance, but both of them run out of the area of effect as quick as they can. One of them flanks Xavier with his other buddy, but even with the advantage, he's not able to land the hit. And meanwhile, the other one is chasing down Aurelia, and as he's running, he fires a shot at this tiefling, and it manages to hit him. All right. The tiefling, meanwhile, takes a swing at one of the goons. Only hits once, but it's just enough to knock him out. And then he uses flurry of blows to attack the one that's next to him. Both attacks hit and leave that goon bloodied. As he's finishing them off, so he managed to leave him bloody. He's not out yet. He kind of like glances between this guy and the one that's like running towards Aurelia. And he turns on a heel and runs towards Aurelia to shield her, which does provoke an opportunity attack, but he manages to duck out of the way of it just in the nick of time. So yeah, he's currently standing between one of the goons and Aurelia, kind of shielding her. He's brandishing more of this silverware in his hands, like they're like in between the fingers, kind of like claws. Yeah.
Nice.
Fortunately, though, one that was left standing, this now is when sickening radiance hits them and another one that was nearby. So those two get knocked out, and Aurelia, or rather Evelyn, as Angelique called her earlier, now that she's kind of protected from this one, she's able to take a deep breath, hone her focus, and she casts Toll the Dead on the final remaining weasel, and this is just enough to knock him out.
Nice.
And I think seeing this, the tiefling kind of straightens up, pockets the silver, and says well then, I see I wasn't quite needed then. Well done, young lady. And so that fight is resolved, but we have to get back to the fight in the sitting room, and
The imminent demise.
yeah, yeah, this poor bastard who is presumably about to I'll leave to Jubilee. What are you gonna do to this guy?
Yeah, I think because he's a theater kid, he does not run, he walks the distance as they're stuck in that spotlight. And
Saunters
just
up to him.
He will. I'll roll the strike to hit. 20 hit?
That will absolutely hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kill!
Roll the damage again.
Mhm.
Plus 4, plus 1, plus 1, plus 3d6. Yeah, 28
Nice.
points of damage.
Yeah, I think that's enough. This guy was at full health, but he's not anymore. Jubilee, how do you
Yeah.
want to do this?
As he walks up and they are stuck in the spotlight of compelled duel, he just kind of clicks his tongue, tilts his head, and says, "Show's over." And then, like, hits them over top of the head with the pommel of his sword as the light clicks off
Yo!
above them.
Delicious.
Heck yeah, we love to see it.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right.
Fight's technically over. Reed's still gonna. Because, like, all the other weasels in the other area are also down too, yeah?
Yeah, they're down, so yeah, it seems like the fight's over. I think
Mm-hmm.
now that everything's over, Evelyn's gonna kind of like run back into the sitting room, and be like, "All right, Evan here."
Perimeter check now. Reed is gonna say immediately, because a lot of those weasels came out from the window. There's probably more of them in his head. He's gonna he's gonna go outside immediately and make sure that there's nobody left to try and sneak in
Very
here.
good call. Roll me a perception check, please.
Sure, Red. I would gladly do that. Mr. I don't take any chances with this stuff like this.
Very good call, honestly.
Perception. Oop, that's the wrong chat. Hang on, let me get to the right chat before I roll this. There we go. Whee! 16.
All right, that's definitely enough. So yeah, you kind of like search the grounds around the house, and you go around the back, and you find piled up in one corner is a whole bunch more of these weasels, all of them unconscious. You count at least 10 of them, like in this pile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, somebody already took care of these guys. Good. That's. Huh. I do want to say, in order to do this, Reed did jump out the window.
To be fair, the window was already broken, so.
Yeah, exactly. So he will take his findings and report back to the others.
And I think the tiefling will pipe up. Yes, my apologies for leaving such a mess behind the manor, but, well, there are quite a few of them. It would have been rather difficult to drag them away all at once.
Okay.
That is a
Reed
thing to process.
Yeah, I think Aurelia, or sorry, Evelyn will say, wait, you're the one that knocked them all out? Ah, yes. Well, as I was coming over here for the interview, I noticed a few of those fellows skulking rather suspiciously around the manor. I went over to inquire what they were doing, and, well, they didn't quite enjoy being found out, and they struck at me, and, well, I had to respond in kind. And I think the weasel that was in the tux kind of like blearily wakes up and like hears this. He's still like too, like beat up to like, move or anything, so he's not a threat right now, and he says, You took out that many guys just by yourself? Well, in fairness, they didn't exactly see me coming. And I think at this point we would kind of do like a little flashback moment where we see a bunch of these weasels skulking around the perimeter of the manor, only for this for a very dark figure to appear from them, seemingly out of nowhere from the shadows, and just strike them in the back of the head one by one and just knock them all out in sequence.
Nice. Okay, well, Reed is still super high strung.
Yeah.
He's just gonna give okay. You guys might want to check the resume. And he just kind of tosses the resume onto the table and gives everyone in the room a thumbs up. And he's basically just gonna go around the manor and patrol for a little bit to make sure, absolutely sure, that there's no one else.
Sounds good. Yeah, I will notice. I think like at the like earlier on, Reed probably only wrote like the first page of the resume, but there is a second one, and the second one, it does mention that he has basically the kind of skills that you would have for like a bodyguard, pretty much like just fighting experience, that sort of thing. It's actually like there's not as much on that one though. It's like basically a footnote compared to like all the other stuff because well he was coming to interview for a butler position, so he'd want to go with the relevant information.
Mhm.
I think while Reed's going to like kind of patrol the manor, Evelyn will go up to the weasel that's still up and about, and we'll kind of like kick him in the side and say, "All right, talk. What were you like? Who sent you, and what were you intending to do here?"
Pick the weasel
I-
with the broken ribs.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely seems kind of mean of her for considering what you've seen of Aurelia before and how polite she was beforehand.
Mhm.
He had it coming.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. Oh, all right. Look, we got a tip that there was some witch goyle who was moving in and wouldn't be protected or nothing, and that she had some kind of exotic pet type thing with some kind of shoulder angel tingy, whatever it was. And Angelique looks very incensed by this remark. She's just like a pet, and she goes up to like she holds her scythe up to their neck.
Kill.
I think Jubilee in the background has slowly folded his wings back behind him and is stalking over to glare down and just kind of. He still has his sword lit with fire
Definitely.
as it is. It's just like, mm-hmm.
All right. And where did you get this tip from? Evelyn will continue. We don't know. Like I says, it was anonymous. Like, we was just here to get kidnap yous and the dead angel and make a quick buck off of yous.
You are really bad at this criminal thing.
Honestly, it's kind of insulting.
It really is. And I think the tiefling is gonna kind of say, well, if that whole ordeal is sorted, I presume you all can handle calling the authorities on this. In the meanwhile, I shall be taking my leave. And he starts to leave, but Evelyn kind of like kind of takes a step towards him and is like, "Wait a minute, why did you? Oh, why did I assist you in that fight just now? Hmm. Well, well, I suppose one could call it uh, showing off what I'm capable of, so to speak. But well, it was rather pointless in the end. After all, there's no point in doing an interview when your mind was clearly made up already the moment I walked in." And I think Evelyn kind of goes quiet for a bit, and she says, "It's I'm sorry we reacted that way, but well, it's not exactly something we have control over. Okay, look, maybe we did judge you a bit quickly, and well, you did save us. Look, I'm not just gonna give you the job, but at the very least, I think we should at least hear you out and see if well." She kind of like just kind of gestures vaguely. Oh, I think he'll turn and kind of smile at her pleasantly again. It's like, are you quite certain that my appearance won't be what would the word be? Um, quite so much of a deciding factor anymore? We'll see. Let's at least hear what you have to say first. And she'll go back over to the table and kind of pick the chair up because presumably they'd all got knocked over and sit down.
Mhm.
And she'll kind of look to the rest of you.
Jubilee has quietly deactivated his sword
Mhm.
and returned it to his hip, and then is immediately glued to Tome's side.
Don't worry, Jubilee. Tome kind of expected this and is just has an arm wrapped around you.
Mm-hmm. Not going anywhere, but yup.
Mhm.
Congrats, you now have bird.
You've earned a free bird for your trials.
Yeah. And out of curiosity, Obby, because I don't want to leave you out of this. Would Reed have come back at this point, or do you want to just have him still patrolling the manor?
I think he would have come back. I have a bit.
Absolutely.
Earlier, I joked that the little rabbit was still somewhere in the manor.
Oh
Oh,
my
no.
gosh.
Reed does come back. With this little guy.
Oh my god.
And just very gently sets them in a timeout in the corner.
Lol. Get
Just like in
grounded.
a stay right there, it's dangerous, but you're in trouble.
Right. Well, I suppose my first question would be, what your name is? You don't appear to have, put that on your resume. And sure enough, at the top of the resume, there is no sign of any, name written on there. And, the tiefling will say, yes, that must have been what I've forgotten. I suppose that one will work as well as any. You may call me Xavier Sterling. And, he'll do that, little cross the arm over his chest, polite little bow thing he did before.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna give you guys a chance to ask this fella questions.
Can Tome really quick roll history on the household name that was in the resume?
But
Now
yeah,
that
go
he's
for it.
actually
Yeah,
looked at it.
definitely. 17. That's quite a bit better. Yeah. So Tome, you have heard of this. You might have read in the papers or read from somewhere. But yeah, you definitely know Ashby is the name of a noble family, but not just any noble family. They're a rather prominent one. From the country of Albinun, which is a rather far away place. It's pretty far from both Faruma and Inkwell. It's actually located in this sort of very isolated archipelago of a few other small countries. And
Which continent specifically? Do you know?
Character we don't know specifically where geographically it is. Just that it's
Red.
very isolated. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Albinun, yeah.
Reed
Albinun
is from Reed is from an archipelago from one of the other continents. So I was like, oh, maybe.
Right.
Probably not.
Yeah, we haven't figured out everything about all the other countries because we've mostly just been focusing on Albinun because that's kind of the more plot relevant one. But there are a few other countries. Yeah, basically the whole thing with that archipelago it's very isolated because of certain reasons.
Understood. Thumbs up.
All right.
Yeah, Ashby is a very prominent noble family all the way in Albinun. Actually, I think with that role, you'd also know this guy's accent, very similar to another fella you know, one Ari Houdin. So that is an Albinunish accent, or sorry, Albinunian. That's how it is.
I'm sorry, you said Aries' name and Tome instantly, and my head started dying like a drowned cat.
Tome, please.
Tome, stop being gay for 5 minutes and focus.
Focus.
5 minutes, Tome. 5 minutes, Tome.
You can be gay later.
That's why I started laughing though, because you said Ari, and instantly Tome sanded me with such panic. Wait, is Ari here? Okay, one second, I'm gathering myself again. I have to blame.
Alright, take your time.
Whenever my character does stupid things like that, it makes me laugh so hard.
Do we need to take another break, or are we good to continue, by the way?
I'm good to continue.
I'm good.
Alrighty.
Tome will, though, this does give Tome his question he's going to ask. Which he kind of leans back and goes, so why did you leave your last position?
And, been keeping that pleasant smile on his face this whole time, but the expression does kind of fall a tiny bit. Not, complete frown, but, just maybe slightly sad. Well, it was a rather unfortunate circumstances. You see, my previous master passed away, and as such, I could no longer remain in his employment.
I see. I am sorry to hear that. Tome will be
He nods.
inciting.
Go for it, yeah.
Insight 20.
All right.
That's good.
So yeah, you can definitely tell he's telling the truth. Anything else specific Tome would be looking for?
More. I'm sorry, this guy has trust issues. Was he
That's
involved
fair.
in the death at all?
Good question.
He's looking for any sign of like guilt or nervousness that like a criminal will do when.
Definitely not. No, there's not like guilt. Like for what you can tell, it's not like like he murdered his previous master sort of thing. Like that. It's obviously not that. But like, there's definitely like some complicated feelings regarding that. At the very least, you can tell that like the brief hint of sadness he's like faintly showing does seem to be
Genuine.
genuine. That's the word.
Okay. Tome will calm down at that then.
The hackles have been lowered.
Just listen,
Slightly.
after what just happened, he's a little bit on edge.
Fair enough.
I mean, in Jubilee's case, anything that he would be asking about in regards to this, the Xavier already proved himself with, taking
Definitely.
down all the weasels and all that.
Just for fun, let me yeah, that's an insight back on Tome to like see what he might be thinking. It's only a 13 though.
Let me roll a deception.
Where did you learn to fight like that? Kind of read. Makes the absent comment from the side.
Tome is completely unreadable to him. Has a nice, just set face and slightly pleasant but forced smile. He is not hiding that. That is easy to see. But as to what he's actually thinking, nope, you don't know what's going on inside that man's head.
Fair enough. Well, I have learned a number of different fighting styles over the course of my life. That one in particular, though, I adopted, well, when I became a butler for the Ashby Manor. Something to sort of stick with the butler aesthetic, so to speak, while also being able to protect my master. So that's why you, so that's why you were using silverware, Evelyn will say, and he nods, as if this is a completely normal thing for someone to do.
Like, is this man a toon or is this man real kind? Like, I feel like that's an important detail.
He is definitely real kind. You can tell that pretty easily.
Okay. Reed's having like a moment of, you have a lot of toon tropes about you, but you're okay.
I cannot wait for Reed to meet the professor.
Oh, that's gonna be funny.
Oh boy.
That is the only reason the toonish parts are not like throwing up flags for Tome, is because Tome has met the professor. So Tome at this just point, like, Reed's the outlier to him.
Yeah.
Even Azumi's more toonish. Even Azumi and Harada are more toonish.
Reed is a normal man. He's normal man.
Any other questions? Because I do have one that Aurelia is going to ask once everyone else is done.
Nope.
What are you willing
Not
to
that
give
Reed can think of at the moment
to make sure that she stays safe?
And he just he smiles at Tome and he says, "Why I would give my very life to protect my master. If I did not, then what kind of butler would I be?"
Is he still telling the
You
truth?
can insight. He is. Yeah, I'm gonna say you can go off that last insight. Yeah. Tome, you can keep your last insight. He is very much telling the truth, and he is quite serious about what he's saying.
Tome will nod, and that is all his questions.
All right. Reed was doing an insight?
Yeah, just for
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
16.
Yeah, that's enough. You can tell this guy's telling the truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I think Evelyn will take a deep breath and she'll say, "I have one final question for you. Are are you working for the Prince of Gourds?" And he kind of tilts his head curiously, still smiling, and he says, Before I answer that question, may I ask one of my own?" And she'll nod. "Go ahead." "Hmm. Is that the name of the devil that has caused you so much fear?" And she kind of shrinks a little and kind of and kind of glances down at the table. And Angelique, you can kind of see her tense up a decent bit. And Evelyn will quietly say, yes, it is." And he will nod very calmly and say, "I see. Well, that certainly explains a few things. I can certainly confirm that I'm not working for that fellow. And let me roll history for him real quick.
Ooh, history.
Yeah.
Sobs.
Ooh, that is a 22. Perfect. Yeah.
Smart.
All right. I do believe I do recognize that name, though. I've never met that fellow personally, but from what I have heard, he is quite nasty, even as far as devils go. If it's not too impertinent of you to ask, are you currently in a contract with him?" And Evelyn will very quickly answer, "No. I mean, no, we're not anymore. It's complicated." "That's quite all right. You needn't explain yourself right away." At any rate, though, is he still, well, for lack of a better term, bothering you? Kind of. I mean, technically speaking, he's not allowed to anymore. Those are the terms of the deal he had made when he was, but, well, we're not done with him yet, and that's why you reacted to the sight of me so, the way you did. And she nods. I see. Well, ultimately, this decision is up to you. But I can only tell you what I'm able to offer, and whether or not you choose to hire me is up to you. But in that vein, he will walk up to the table and produce a pen from his pocket, and he will scribble something down at the bottom of the resume, and it says basically what he adds is saying that he has knowledge of devils and fiends and how they work and how their contracts work and that sort of thing.
Interesting.
Just in case.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. In case that changes your decision at all. Though I do have one request in regards to that, which is that if you do wish to ask me for my insight on devils and whatnot, that you not ask how I know all of this information.
That was suspicious as hell.
Yeah, that's what Tome's thinking.
Definitely.
Depends. Informants like that. Makes sense. Can't always ask where they get their information, just so long as you get the information.
Yeah. He kind of nods at Juby. Yeah.
Regardless, this is probably something we're gonna have to sleep on for the night.
Probably.
I agree.
And I'm definitely going to have to think on this too. And I think Angelique will pop up for her shoulder. I've got a question. If we do hire you, are you gonna lock us into some stupid soul contract like he did? Because I'll tell you right now, she's already in a contract with me, and I'm not gonna let you take her soul or anything like that. And he kind of smirks at her, amused, even like lets out a low little chuckle, and says, "Oh, so that is what I sensed from you. You are quite the curious thing, I must say. I've never seen an imp act as a patron for anyone. Typically, they are familiars." And she gives him a very confused look and says, "Imp? What's an imp?" And he just kind of like gives her a curious look, like, "Oh my, we do have quite a bit to talk about, don't we? At any rate, though." um, I have my contact information on the resume as well, so if you wish to contact me about your decision, I shall be waiting with bated breath, so to speak. And I thank you for giving me this opportunity. Yeah. And unless there are any more questions, he'll be taking his leave. Actually, I think as he's stepping out, he will say, I will note, though, in regards to your accusation about making a soul contract. He kind of like looks over his shoulder and smiles with that sort of kind of mysterious, almost mischievous smile. Tieflings are unable to create soul contracts such as that. Only a full-blooded devil would be able to do such a thing. So I can assure you that I am incapable of doing such things, and you needn't worry about that. I am merely seeking employment from you, and that is all. And with that, he will step out of the room and leave. I think Evelyn just like lets out a breath and kind of like rests her head on the table.
You know,
I think Reed will step out for like 5 minutes, not to like catch up with Xavier or anything, but
Yeah.
I'll let you guys chat for a little bit before I reveal what Reed is doing.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Juby, from his spot still glued to Tome's side, is just, you know, out of all of the candidates, he actually turned out to be promising.
Yeah, figures the only one that's halfway competent would be a dev or tiefling.
Tiefling.
That's what he called himself, right? Right. Sorry. And I think she kind of like holds up the journal that she was holding earlier and saying, "Well, if this is any indication, it sounds like you guys didn't find any that worked."
No, none. I mean, if you want to keep searching.
I'll have to speak with the others and come to conclusion with them. Not sure if they're going to like the idea, but, well, what he said is true, then it may actually benefit us to have him around. We have been looking for an expert on devils and fiends to give us a bit of console on what to do with the prince when he eventually comes back.
And it's probably fair to not judge someone by their appearance. That's, you know.
Yeah, she kind of like grimaces at that, like, yeah, like I said, we don't really have control over that. That's why we switched in, so it's why I switched in so rapidly. Aurelia must have seen him, and, well, you can imagine what happened. You probably saw what happened.
Makes sense, just now that you have context. Consider that.
I know. Me of all people should know not to judge someone just because they're a bit scary looking.
Reed's gonna come back in the room. He had gone to find the kitchen of the manor and has returned with tea. He's returned with tea.
Nice. Yeah.
Calming tea.
Very good. I think she could definitely use some of that. Yeah, I will say if you look in the kitchen, there's not a whole lot of like stock in there at the moment because the house hasn't been fully moved into yet. Probably just like a few dry goods, and the tea would definitely be one of them.
Oh no, he's got the tea blends on him.
Oh, nice.
This
there
boy
would have
is a
been stove and water.
He's ready at all times.
Fair.
Excellent.
I love Reed.
Love him so much.
Yeah, he's come in with a cup for everybody.
Yeah. I think as you guys are taking your tea, and as Evelyn's kind of like feeling a bit better, she'll say, "Oh, wait, that's right. You probably don't know about our condition yet. I don't know why the other girls. Well, I guess I do know why they hide it. We People don't always react the best to hearing about it, but whatever, I don't care at this point. Anyway, I'm Evelyn. It's nice to meet you, I guess, but I wish you'd been under better circumstances, at least.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Nice to meet you.
It is a pleasure to meet
I
you.
may not fully understand, but nice to meet you all the same.
No, it's fine. Not everyone's heard of what our condition is. It's a dissociative identity disorder. I don't suppose any of you recognize that term, or...
Those were a lot of big words.
I do. Tome gives a small nod.
Okay. I guess the way to explain is there's more than one person living up here, and she taps her head.
Ah, okay.
And we don't always control who's at the front. Usually I show up when we're, well, in danger or scared or something along those lines.
Makes sense.
Alright, so what's the plan? Are we gonna give it a night's rest, then see?
Yeah, I think that would
How
be
we're
for the
feeling?
best.
Alright.
Yeah. You all are welcome to stay over if you like. I'm not sure if there's like sheets or anything in any of the bedrooms. I haven't really moved in yet, but whatever works best for you.
Could probably find something in Hammer space.
Yeah.
Although I do recommend perhaps we take turns in shifts. Make
I
sure that
do
this
agree
place
on
is
Mhm.
safe.
Right, no, you're right. Don't know if
Because
there
as
were
much
any more of
as
them.
these could have been the only sort of fellows, he says, looking at one of the unconscious weasels on the floor that they haven't dealt with yet.
Yeah, I will say, like, at some point,
There's-
like, somebody probably calls the cops, and, like, they'll come to, like, collect the weasels from you.
Yeah,
Speaking of the
yeah.
weasels, though, yeah, I think Evelyn does have something to note. They said they got anonymous about us, that we were moving in, and that they have much security. I have some theories about who the tip might have been from. Damn it, he's already found a way around that stupid promise he made, or deal, or whatever.
Loopholes.
Grand.
Well, it may be a recommendation that might be needed. You may need to hire more staff members who can protect you in that case.
Definitely, we'll be looking into more people who can protect the manor as well as do the cleaning and whatever. Maybe we'll find someone who can do both. Who knows? Michael's a strange enough place already.
Reed nods. I may already have a job, but I can at least fill the role of protection in the meantime, if you need.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Alright. And kind of thinking of like how to end this off, because like on the one hand I do kind of want to resolve like Xavier actually getting hired or not. I'd say we could probably like if you guys want to like skip ahead to the next day, really uneventful. Yes.
Gotta roll another thing just for background.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Wonderful. Great roll, bud.
What was that for?
It is deception.
Maybe
Look,
what was-
there were night watches. He's definitely keeping up a poker face because he totally slept.
Tome's inciting.
Wait. Hang on. That might need to go lower. Yeah, that needs to go. Hang on. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Hi, Tome. You know what happened.
Tome doesn't
Yeah.
say anything, but he does wrap an arm around Jubilee and pull him a bit closer.
That's all. He might keep yawning just a little bit. He looks kind of tired.
Tome's giving you nice little head scritchies.
Aww.
But he is here. He is helping keep an eye on stuff as follow-up, calling back
Yes.
Xavier.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, I think for the sake of expediency, like one way or another, they contact Xavier wherever he's apparently staying and ask him to come back to the manor to like hear the final decision, basically. And I will say, I think like during the night, Evelyn would have definitely taken some time to kind of find a quiet room she could go into and basically try and get in contact with as many of girls in the system as she could. At this point, when they would have calmed down enough that Aurelia would be able to be in co-consciousness with her. There's definitely quite a bit of back and forth. A lot of the girls had their misgivings about it, but ultimately they decided that the good kind of outweighed the bad here, and that it would be useful to have him around. He's certainly more than proven himself.
After their conversation is done, when they open the door, they'll find a little bag with a packed lunch.
Aww.
Reed, you're so sweet.
Reed, my beloved.
No one goes hungry on his watch.
Nice.
No one.
Alrighty, so eventually you guys presumably have breakfast, and like eventually as Xavier comes, right on time he arrives at the manor. And I think you guys are probably all assembled in the foyer as actually let me do I think Aurelia would probably be fronting for this because the rest of the system would want her to be there for this decision. Yeah. And she seems a little bate tense at first, but she kind of like takes a deep breath and strides up to him. She says, well, we've made a decision. We've decided that we are going to hire you. However, we are going to be keeping a close eye on you, at least for the first week or so. As you understand, you are a new person entering my home, and say no more, Lady Hoffla. I understand entirely. And I think he's going to kind of like instead of just doing like the little polite bow, he basically just like genuinely like gets down on like one knee and like bows his head to her, and still doing like the like arm crossed over the chest thing, and he says, "Thank you very much for this opportunity, and I will be honored to serve you, my lady." And I think as he stands back up, trying to see, I think roll an insight on him, and I'll roll deception. This isn't for a bad thing. This is well, I'll explain it.
Boom.
Oh, okay, not that good.
Hot dang.
Okay, dang, you all beat it. Reed barely managed
Aurelia
to
and
get it,
Reed,
but like,
same roll, handshake.
hey. Oh no, that was deception. That was Xavier's
Oh, never
deception,
mind.
actually. Yep. All right. So yeah, you all notice this as he comes up from the bow. You see him kind of stare off into space I'd say Reed. It's close enough. Like you see him staring off into space. So you can't really tell where exactly it is. The other two, you see him kind of staring up at like where the like twin staircases kind of come up to like the banister at the top of like this room. Yeah, he stares up there for like a few moments, almost like he's looking at something, but there's nothing there. Yeah. Or perhaps that he's staring at someone that should be there but isn't. Either way, you guys have no idea what he could be staring at. Only Xavier knows that. Only he knows what his eyes can supposedly see.
Pain, suffering.
Special eyes.
Special
brand.
eyes.
Something like that.
And it's a good thing Reed didn't notice, because otherwise he would have been like, "Oh God, is there another ghost?"
I'm not gonna answer that question.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, it's
Uh,
fine.
At any rate, I can get started immediately if you'd like. I don't suppose those windows are still broken, are they? Because I can immediately set to cleaning that up if you would like. Yes, you can do that. Will that be your first order for me then? And he kind of kind of smiles that mischievous smile at her, and she kind of quiet for like a sec, like not realizing what she's supposed to say. It says, "Oh, I order you to clean up that the broken glass, please." And he kind of chuckles to himself, and he kind of says like, we'll work on that, but as you wish, my lady." And I think that's where we're gonna end things there.
Mhm.
So yeah. So
Fun game.
and as thanks for helping with this whole thing, you guys do get a reward. So you get 25 gold each as a payment for helping out with the interview.
Yes.
But more than that, you also get access to the manor. So anytime your character needs a place to stay, they can come to the manor for a hot meal and a comfortable bed. So like any time you guys need a place to stay, your characters can just come over here. And you've also gained a devilish informant. If you need to learn about fiends or how the hells function, or devil soul contracts, that sort of thing, Xavier seems to know quite a bit about all these subjects, and will gladly share what he knows if asked. The only caveat being that you can't ask him how he knows all of this information.
Fair.
Yep.
Tome.
Oh, delicious.
Tome's good with those deals.
Yay. So yeah, that's our game, and now the manor is finally up and running. Well, for the most part, they still do need to hire a few more servants, but I think Xavier will make a mention that he does know a couple of people that he used to work with that he might try to get into contact with if they need more servants. But we'll save that for another
Yes.
game.
Yes. Yes.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I'm
You know.
aware.
All right.
Yes,
Yeah, wow, that
good,
was like 3
delicious.
hours, almost like perfectly 3 hours. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes. Alrighty, so I'm going to end the recording here, but thank you so much for my lovely players for being here today. This was such a fun time.
Woo.
Handshake.
Yay.
It was good. It was very good.
It was so
And
good.
I also,
Thank you.
And I also say thank you to the folks who are listening live and those listening in the future. And I will wish you all a very good time zone. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.